So the World Federation of Occupational Therapists, we're a global network of national occupational therapy associations representing over 630,000 occupational therapists worldwide. We are a global community of occupational therapists seeking to improve their practice, the recognition of occupational therapy in the wider world health context. And we are the platform for debate and knowledge and support for the occupational therapy education and research. So how do we do our work? We raise awareness for the profession and provide a platform to celebrate and exchange the diversity of our members. We facilitate the profession to enable engaged, meaningful lives for everyone by encouraging occupational therapy excellence. Our mission is to promote occupational therapy as an art and science internationally and support the development, use and practice of occupational therapy worldwide, demonstrating its relevance and contribution to society. We set the standard for occupational therapy education internationally and promote excellence in research and practice. We structure our work in 3 domains: leadership and advocacy, education, research, and practice development. Our organizational aims are to promote health, well-being, and justice, to increase awareness of occupational therapy, to advance excellence in occupational therapy practice, to deliver quality in education and research, to ensure WFOT efficiency and effectiveness, and to demonstrate leadership in occupational therapy. So the World Federation of Occupational Therapists is the international voice for occupational therapy, ensuring professional representation at key international stakeholder events and initiatives that progress the relevance of occupational therapy at a global level. We provide occupational therapy expertise to inform and influence international policy and strategy development at a health systems level. We represent the profession at a global level by influencing and collaborating with international stakeholders. Examples here include the World Health Organization, Humanity Inclusion, the International Society of Prosthetics and Orthotics, International Society of Wheelchair Professionals, World Physiotherapy, the Cochrane Collaboration, and the Global Rehabilitation Alliance. I want to talk a little bit more about our collaboration plan with WHO. This is central to the work that we undertake as a federation. And we cover and work across a range of different groups and departments within WHO. For example, disability and rehabilitation, contributing to Rehabilitation 2030, the competency framework. We work with the mental health teams looking at human rights, psychological interventions, and the mental health action plan. Working with teams in the aging and life course, looking at falls, long-term conditions, and age-friendly communities. Assistive technology, such as the global cooperation of assistive technology, wheelchair standards, human resources, workforce planning, demographics, recruitment and retention, and the classifications, the identification of functions and diseases and health interventions. So we also, as a team, work as an organization to publish timely position statements and public responses to critical issues that support advocacy and occupational therapy. Examples here include public statements and position statements, and these are all translated into a range of different languages. Advocacy forms a large part of our work, and we provide materials to support advocacy and lobbying. We host an annual World Occupational Therapy Day that goes from strength to strength each year, producing themed promotional materials and resources. And we're very pleased to announce that the theme for 2022 is opportunity and choice equals justice. We advance excellence in occupational therapy practice by developing an international professional journal, maintaining the WFOT website, resources and information, providing monthly electronic newsletters, and organising an international congress such as this one every 4 years. The website remains our portal and visibility to the world, and the resources within the website are freely available, and as I've said, available in many different languages. We have an international online forum where people can exchange ideas, messages, contacts on a range of different themes. And again, this is publicly available, the Occupational Therapy International Online Network. We publish a newsletter every month, which people can subscribe to, and have over 20,000 subscribers. Developing quality education and research. We maintain and publish the minimum standards for the education of occupational therapists at an international, as an international recognized benchmark for the occupational therapy education. We implement the WFOT approval and reapproval of our occupational therapy education programs and maintaining a database of over 2,000 education programs globally. We are developing and continuing to develop innovative free online learning resources to advance practice and facilitate knowledge translation to the occupational therapy community. That's not working. Examples include the disaster management modules, working with displaced people, Quest, and coming soon, and I'm sorry, I can't advance this. There we go. Thank you. Coming soon is the Resettling Climate Migrants module. In 2016, we published the research priorities, which you can see here, and looking at methods in which we can continue to promote their availability internationally. And there they are again, in case you missed them. Publications. I think you've already heard, if you were in the opening ceremony and the symposia, that WFOT published a range of different resources, and again, freely available. Disaster preparedness and risk reduction is one of the most recent ones, economic evaluations. And our response to the COVID pandemic at the time generated a lot of inquiries, but also support that we provided. And we did a global needs analysis, which made a number of recommendations. And again, all of these are available. Many of you may have already heard about the Occupational Therapy Narratives Project. It's an open database of videos representing people all over the world, ability levels, ages, socioeconomic and socio-cultural backgrounds as they engage in activities in naturalistic, formal and institutional settings. I do encourage you to go to the WFOT session and speak to, and also the people on the booth, to learn how you can contribute to the database. Ensuring efficiency and effectiveness of WFOT. So we now have 107 member organizations worldwide. We have over 40,000 individual members who support our work. And we continue to support the engagement and development of the profession in over 30 countries. People don't always understand that WFOT is mainly managed by volunteers. People often think that we have this huge headquarters building in Geneva with 50 staff and all of this. Nope. Most of the people that you're seeing here today are all volunteers. And I think that's so commendable with the amount of support and work that they do on a voluntary basis. And I often use the description of my role when I emailed the then executive director and asked how many OTs there were in the world. And she said, I don't know, but that sounds like a good project for you to do. and then you end up feeling a little bit compelled to do it, and see where your journey leads. So that was over 20 years ago. So be careful what you ask, is what I say. Only joking, ask away. And again, our global connectedness is really where their strengths lie within the profession, engaging with over 192 countries and 50,000 followers on social media. Obviously, subscribing and supporting WFOT as a voluntary organisation is critical on resource and finance, and therefore we do rely on support on individual membership. So if you are an individual member, or if you're not an individual member, contact your national association to find out how to join. Coming soon, your individual members will also be able to log into the unique portal and download their membership certificate for CPD. So how do we demonstrate leadership in occupational therapy? These are just examples. The resource listings that we provide, all the publications, the health, human resources and global workforce strategies that we're developing, the guiding principle publications, sustainability, and the awards. So talking of that question that I asked, this developed into the Human Resources Project, and it's a demographic scan of our member organisations, and it's undertaken every 2 years. So the most recent was in 2022, where we received a 98% response rate from member organisations. Again, this information is on the booth, but also available on the website. But if you look at a snapshot of our profession, we have 633,000 occupational therapists, 1,100 occupational therapy education programs, 58,000 assistants, and 120,000 students. And this is the demographic that shows the range of occupational therapists per head of population globally. Did I just jump a slide? Yes, I jumped a slide. Sorry. This shows the number of practicing occupational therapists globally. And those numbers change slightly when you look at the 10,000 of head per population, with many of the Scandinavian countries having a lot more occupational therapists per head of population. Once you start this, you never stop. It's so addictive to read, so I do encourage you to do it. The number of education programs worldwide as well. And from this, we can look at labour force trends, and this is where this data becomes really important, because from this we can identify where there are shortages and high vacancy rates, often in mental health services, stroke rehabilitation, and we look at the factors that are contributing to the shortage of occupational therapists. And from that, we can develop that into a global strategy, which will be coming soon. And there'll be a session on this as well in the Congress. So please do ask if you're interested about how this strategy will develop. More recently, we've started publishing guiding principles for competency in occupational therapy and the use of evidence in occupational therapy. So it's now my pleasure to hand over to Margarita Gonzalez, the Vice President, who is going to present the WFOT Awards. Thank you.